What's up, guys? Posting another video for you guys. Um, I wanted to do a video on this picture that I took um, when I was at the beach. So sometimes just to give you context behind this, sometimes I go to, so I have like this national, like this park um, in my state. And I usually go there, and it has like a big parking lot. And across from the parking lot, there's a beach. But I usually go into the parking lot to kind of just, clear my thoughts, think, or just do whatever, what I mean? Just sit around sometimes, meditate, do what I do. But this particular day, I was journaling my thoughts, and I would say the time was probably around like 5 p.m., maybe 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And as I was journaling, I looked up and there was this big moon literally just like in my face. And I always find it exciting when things like that happens. Like sometimes the moon just does these weird appearances out of nowhere sometimes. But this particular day the moon was just like so huge in my face. And I was so captivated by it that, I stopped what I was doing and I got out of my car. And in order for me to, so I got out of my car and I was headed towards the beach because I wanted to see the moon, um, you know, laid out on the beach. But for me to get to the beach, I have to cross this two-way street, this big street. So, I got in my car, hobbled my way across the street, and then I had to basically hop this small little wall to get to the beach and hop into the sand. And as I did all of that, and I'm standing on the sand on the beach looking at the moon, I'm just in, awe. I'm just in awe of how this big circular thing is just basically just literally floating in the air. And what gets me really, interested about the moon, I think a lot of people are interested in the sun, and how it shines. And the sun is beautiful too, but I find something so like interesting about the moon and how it's able to basically illuminate uh, all of these dark spaces, And if you ever went on a street and you went on a street that didn't have lights or anything like that, the moon does it on its own. It can illuminate the streets on its own. And I find it so fascinating. I find it inspiring, you know, being, this big light in a dark space. I think a lot of times too within this picture, um, one thing I like about the moon and how it just like, and in this picture, it kind of just like it lights up certain areas that's in within the area of the light, but it leaves some type of um mysteriousness of what's in the darkness, you know what's in the darkness, what's laying there, what's being there. It leaves some expressions of thoughts to come into our minds, like creative thoughts to come into our minds, to allow us to kind of paint the picture of what is possibly there. And like I might be getting a little sidetracked, but you know I've gotten into like the theories of darkness and things like that, and I think sometimes in society we see darkness as fears, since we're growing up or things like that. We get scared of the darkness, or we think like this boogeyman, or monsters, or warlocks, or all of these things are going to come and get us inside of this dark area. But what I've come into mind about darkness, and as it's displayed inside of these crevices of these places, is that darkness is literally our form of it allows us to have a form of imagination. And the beautiful thing about it is that wherever darkness lies, you will see an internal reflection of your mind back at you. So, and don't let what I say in some way have influence over your mind. Like, you really have to allow your mind to just flow into the darkness, and what is being reflected in the dark back to you is basically an illustration of your mind. And it's interesting because I'm freestyling these thoughts right now, but as I say what I'm saying, and then I look, and then I go back to the moon, it's interesting how I see this light now again. And it's basically showing me how far I came into, exposing the dark sides of my mind. Tapping into my mindset. So what I see here is my mind. I see consciousness. I see bits and pieces of me starting to expose those areas. And not that it in some way needs to be exposed in a way of, saying, oh, you did something, but exposed in a way of getting to know what is there, and what is there is me. Yeah, it's interesting, and then inside of this picture, we see the landscapes far in the back, like there's probably like there's some type of land there, but it's all dark. And to me, that's just that symbolizes forbidden areas that needs to be seen, that needs to be walked upon, that needs to be learned about, that's probably waiting to be learned about. And if you see how that area in the back, it's more darker than like the darkest parts of the water or the darker parts of the sky. It's dark. So to me, that illustrates to me like a little bit like that illustrates to me like fear. Like I'm willing to go, but like I may have to dig a little bit more deeper inside of my courageous bag to kind of figure out what's on the land over there. But yeah, guys, like I love the water, I love the moon, I love the sky. All of these things kind of says something about myself. Whether it's the water, how deep it runs, how it has this push and pull type of movement. And I think about the pushing and the pulling inside of life. And I think about how the water, the thing about the water is that people come to it so much that, like, a lot of people come to the water to be healed or to gain its calming effects. And it pushes and it pulls, and it's like it cleanses you with that push and pull. But what inspires me is that the water never asks, or nature never asks for anything back, but it just does its job. It's just here. And that's why I give gratitude when I go to, the water, and I say thank you, because I believe all of this is spirited. And all of these movements, these things inside of nature, it has life, and we need to treat it as such, that it is life. It may not be life like the way that we see it inside of our human form, but it is life. It is movement. It is speaking. The movements of the water, you can also replicate it inside of your movements of your body, which means to me that I'm communicating with something. It may not be in human form, but if I could communicate its movements and I can imitate its movements and hear it, that means it's living. That means it's communicating with me. But there's so much that I can break down from this picture, whether it's the sky, and it's just like the sky to me indicates freedom. It's not bound by the grounds of the earth. It lives free. It lives free. And how the clouds, it comes in for a brief moment and then it's gone. It lives free. Yeah, but that's all I got for today, guys. Let me know what you think about this picture.